The Fall of the Cycle Frontier by Rye Games, as well as Is the Cycle Falling Down to a Horrible Death?
Look like a chart for the Save the Children token, but it's not. It's a player chart for the Cycle Frontier, and today we'll find out why this insanely promising game has gone on one of the craziest downward spirals I've ever seen. Now,
I haven't looked at the Steam reviews very much, but I do know people really care about Steam reviews when looking into games. I mean, I know when I see a game that I'm looking for that has mixed reviews, it always like gives me a red flag. I'm not sure if Cycle has mixed reviews or negative reviews or what.
The original and heavily beloved game, The Cycle from 2019. This new game though was a move away.
That's crazy. Let's go back to that. I never played this version of the game. I heard people really love it, but it's got like almost like a mobile game heads-up display, which is a little off-putting.
2019. This new game though was a move away from the slowly dying battle royale genre into the newer extraction shooter genre. The original Cycle game was starting to die off, and the main reason for that was simply that the battle royale genre itself was growing stale due to everyone and their nans making their own BR game. And honestly, the only game that's really survived in that genre since then has been Fortnite, but I think we all know why.
I told the Cycle Frontier developers this as well. They need to put more fat asses in latex, and skins would sell. Actually, Cycle probably has some of the coolest skins. Maybe not the coolest skins, but I love their like modular skin system. That is one thing that they absolutely killed.
At the start, the new game was well received. It was slower paced with a better matchmaking system and improved gunplay, at least for now. But the devs could rest assured knowing the release for the Cycle Frontier was a success.
Yo, you guys know something crazy about this guy? A lot of people don't know. This is Matt Lightfoot. And if you remember DayZ, when they were trying to take Arma 2 DayZ back in the day into DayZ standalone, a bunch of developers were flying over military bases in different countries and taking photos of them. And they went to like prison in these like different countries. It was crazy. And Matt Lightfoot was part of that team. And he was also the lead producer for the Cycle Frontier. I thought that was a crazy coincidence.
It was a success.
So I need scrap metal.
If you jump in the water, you'll live. Let's go. Follow me. Okay, well, I was just joking.
Oh, what the fuck, Summit?
Dude, this clip right here is actually why I downloaded and played the first beta, man.
Could fuck this guy.
That was so good. That was probably the best clip in the Cycle.
Ah, come on, man. You're such a dude. You're such a small penis piece of shit, bitch ass mother.
Averaging around 40k players in its first week is definitely impressive. But that was just the start, and things were bound to get even better.
I remember this from season 1, getting like launched out of orbit.
As usual, shit had to be nerfed, guns needed to be balanced, and eventually they were, but with every issue that was fixed, more things arose. Lots and lots of bugs. People getting stuck, people losing upgrades that they made to their quarters, grass quite literally floating in the air, quests that won't even complete, and even teleporting to modern day, the bugs are still here, they're just different. Yeah, there are definitely less of them, but just yesterday I got stuck in an infinite loop inside a quest where I physically couldn't do anything. But that definitely wasn't the only issue I ran into.
Is his aim the other issue?
Am I lagging?
Shasta, that's a skill issue right there. That was a good time to say that shit, bro. That was a good time to say that shit.
Everywhere.
Dude, it was... dude, the cheating situation was so bad. I don't know if anyone remembers, but cheaters literally took down my channel and tried to force me to advertise cheats in my videos. It was crazy. And then I tried to do a interview with Toast, and he shot me down, and I ended up doing it with a cheater instead. And Shroud actually watched it on his live stream. I think it was one of the last times Shroud played this Cycle, because he was watching that cheater video I posted.
I'm gonna fight.
Oh my god, do you guys remember? I just unlocked an old memory that I forgot I had. I remember in season 1 there would be invisible cheaters that like flew around and would be like talking to you in game, like while you were just trying to PvP, And like I remember like Tsunami would like try and like be nice to them and befriend them so they wouldn't kill him. And I remember just like ranting and raging at one for like 30 minutes. Then he ended up leaving me alone. It was so weird, man. But I remember they went after this guy called Matters like all day. They just hated him and they just continued to go after him non-stop, dude. Watch this video is giving me like nostalgia, but it's crazy because this was like a year ago, dude. It's not that long ago, but it feels ancient, man.
I can't even see him.
You don't want me to peek him? Is he cheating?
You know?
Get stand before.
Oh, he's in the sky again.
Yeah, dude.
Is this
But like
Visions
any game
clips?
spiraling into a midlife crisis, the community was split, and still is split into the casuals who were all starting to leave at this point, and then the hardcore dedicated band of 4K hour pros. And the problem the devs were having now wasn't patching all the numerous bugs or
I don't think anyone has 4,000 hours. Nori plays so much. I think he has 2,000. I have 2,000. Not leaving the game open. So, I mean, 4,000, that is a lot, dude. I wonder how many hours people have.
marketing, but
How many hours you guys
simply
have? Let me know in the
figuring out
comments down
who the
below.
fuck to
You have
listen to.
2,000?
Hello Prospectors, I'm Pierre, the lead game designer of the Tickle Frontier.
The big reason for this is because of the community and where 90% of them actually came from. Escape from Tarkov, the first game to pioneer the EFT genre. Now, please
True.
don't burn me at the fucking
I mean, that's where I came from. That's where Rengar came from and almost like the entire first wave of people to come to it. But then later on, like a lot of people from like Apex came in, namely, I think, more than anywhere.
for this, okay? But this game, like a lot of these PvP games where you give up your soul just for a bit of satisfaction, tends to harbor two types of players. The players who hate the game with all their guts but play it a lot, and the people who love the game and play
Dude,
it very
XQC
rarely. The
makes
sweats
me
and the
laugh my
casuals.
ass off
You
with
see
his
the separation
reactions to
a lot
things,
in
dude.
games like Rust, where no matter what a developer tweets, their comments will always be filled up with children holding them at gunpoint to revert a change they probably weren't even responsible for. The downfall of H1Z1 can be compared to this game in a lot of ways. The method of development especially, which I'll get to later, but the contrasting opinions in the community is never good for any game long term and kind of led to the downfall of H1Z1 as well.
You shut up when I'm talking to you! You shut your mouth!
Now,
Bro,
in
what is going on with that? Dude, there's like a year of like Ninja being, or like 2 years of Ninja being like, no, probably a year of Ninja being like super professional and like at the top of the top, and there's like 3 years of him being like mentally unstable, screaming at children clips like compiled that people just cycle around, and then whatever's going on with him now, dude, I don't know.
2023, the cycle from
It always blows my mind.
Third season where everything gets reset and players are all put on a level playing field. However, in the community, it's kind of common knowledge that the golden age for the game, season 1 and 2, is now long gone. But however imperfect the game may have been, most people agreed it was still golden.
Dude, Shroud playing this game was so big.
Morri. Putz, cacilda, velho.
Bro, I feel like he did that on purpose. Let's watch that back. Pan this in slow motion here, actually. I swear he snaps to the right. Let's watch this back, dude. Am I crazy? It almost looks like he did that on purpose. No, I don't think he did that on purpose, actually. In real time, it kind of looked like he snapped to the right.
Morri. Putz, cacilda, velho.
Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. There, yep.
Dude, the cheating situation was so bad, but I remember like so many of us like stuck with it in season 1 because we were like, dude, this is such a great game. If they just fixed the cheating situation, and they did, they like pushed all of their time and focus into the cheating situation. It was actually just the anti-cheat they bought, and then it eliminated cheaters. And now that their anti-cheat got bought out, I've heard that it's just like flooded with cheaters again.
This thing's OP as fuck.
So I think they're all dead. There's. Oh, I'm dead. No, I'm stuck. What am I stuck on?
Somebody's there, somebody's there, somebody's there!
Dude, I do not remember XQC playing Cycle.
Get out.
Somebody's there!
That's crazy, dude.
Brother.
Somebody's there, can you
She
hear
might
me?
out now. Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. Actually, I don't need to. I can get this.
Wait, can we go with you? Yeah, sure, why not? Do we get extra points for evacing together? Like Tarkov?
Yeah, man, we get extra experience.
Hell yeah, nice, alright. Later, guys. Yeah, later, man.
Oh, you're gonna do his friend like that?
So Season 3 of the Cycle Frontier was set to be a fantastic season. Following up from Season 2 where the player count peaked at a mighty 4,000, this start could only be better.
Wait, did he say the wait, season 2 player count was it peaked at
Hell yeah.
4,000?
Nice, alright.
Wait.
Was set to be a fantastic season. Following up from Season 2 where the player count peaked at a mighty 4,000, this start could
I don't think that's true. I'm not gonna pull up the statistics right now, but I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure season 2 like peaked probably like 10K, didn't it?
only be better. Nope.
I thought season 2 was actually insanely good. The issue, I think the game kind of still has this issue, is a lot of people and streamers like duplicate gear. And I mean, Theros Island was so new, and the Forge was actually useful then. That you had the alien helmet, which was super cool content, and they disabled it because a bunch of basically people that had never used it were like, it's OP. There was like one bug with it that made it overpowered, but realistically, it was like, it was not overpowered. And people are gonna debate me with that all you want, but I actually used it. I was one of the few people that actually used it, and I'm telling you, it wouldn't have been overpowered. But I don't know, like now it's just like dead content. It's like dead in the water. They killed that content, man.
They did, however, write a 2,000 word update for the patch notes, with the biggest news probably being that this is it. Season 3 will be the last wipe ever, which again was a big win for the casuals, but this news is probably more negative than it sounds. However, on the face of it, this looked to be one of the best updates ever. The developers themselves said this season was the battle against cheaters.
And I'm Matt.
Where they removed the large like lump sum of all the cheaters they ever had, and then season 3 is like reintroducing all the cheaters.
Working on the Cycle Frontier, and tomorrow you're going to be playing the best season that we've ever released, Season 3.
I feel like this is a bad take. I think season 3 was actually the worst season. Like season 1, new fun content, the drills were added, oil was added, and I'm considering it like a new season because a lot of us played the betas prior to that, right? Things where when they got rid of linear, or not linear, but when they moved to linear armor, it felt really, really good. But season 2, I mean, introduced the new map, the Forge. It changed the combat with the enchantments and things like that. But season 3, all it did was like things people didn't like being like third partied by PvE. They just introduced the Howler, which made that worse. What else did they add? The Mark II guns. I mean, I made one video on that, but like that was like that. See, it took them like 8 months to produce that content, and like the Howler was already in the game, and the like Mark II weapons, they're already in the game. They just changed stat values on it. Like anyone here that could Google anything about coding could realistically make Mark II weapons in a day with no experience, being completely technical illiterate. With the Howler, obviously like more time and effort went into that, but they didn't really produce a whole lot. I mean, they made more skins than anything. They made sure to get a new battle pass for us, but that was about it.
They'd be focusing all their
They also effectively killed the Forge. Like, it's not even worth it. I remember like absolute lunatics would like get up at 4 in the morning so they could go Forge, and you'll see like streamers like I know like Tsunami will he'll go to like Brazilian servers to Forge and stuff like that, so they can just get their gear that gives them an advantage and not have to like fight over it realistically. And that's kind of like the meta, what they do.
Power on making those little gremlins redundant. But the real question was, could they actually do it? Well, yes, but by making the good players play against the cheaters instead. You see, these developers created special lobbies for people with high KDs, meaning if you've dedicated far too much time to our game, we're just gonna peg you some more. Here's some cheaters to
That's not necessarily true. He's talking about how they added an MMR system in season 1, and the MMR system was actually really good for the game. It wasn't like you had to play with cheaters if you were a good player. There was cheaters in all the lobbies. They absolutely flooded out every single lobby. But the MMR system, I think, was actually amazing for the game.
reward your dedication and loyalty. And even then, cheaters are still in casual lobbies like they are with almost any game, but credit where credit is due because the number of hackers definitely dropped from season 2. But does all of this even really matter anymore?
I don't know. That's just not true. Season 2 had like the least cheaters of any season, by far.
Season 3 has really been a season of lack of communication with the community. Some updates have shown some promise, with a lot more work needing to be done. The player count has not increased, and I doubt revenue did either. It's got to the point where the heavily dedicated players can't even see much of a future for the game, and with them announcing this is the last wipe, it does kind of feel as if they're just letting the game run its course.
I agree 100%. I was the only caveat they had to no more wipes was the caveat that you'd be able to like self-wipe for a reason, and there really seems to be no reason right now. Effectively, they tried to copy Tarkov. They did a somewhat good job, but you can't find gold in a spot that's already dug. And now they're trying to effectively copy Hunt Showdown with their no-wipe system. And I just don't see it working for them, man. I think the game would probably honestly do better if, I mean, they could even wipe without content. I think a lot of people would really enjoy that more than the game just stagnating around. Maybe that's a bad take. You can let me know what you think, but think about like Rust or Tarkov, man. There's been wipes. I mean, there's tons of wipes in Rust where no content is added, but you just the feeling of coming from being naked with a rock to, you know, having your base, having your sniper, your AK, everything, having rockets. It's just like that progression. It feels really good, right? It's not like the ending, right? You know, when you open like your box and you have your box full of AKs, or maybe it's Tarkov and you have your stash entire full. It doesn't feel as good as the first time you get that AK, right? You kill someone, you outplay them for that AK. That feels amazing. Same thing with a cycle. You know, you get that first kinetic armor, you get that first XO piece, you know, you get your first legendary weapon. It feels amazing. And that feeling is like entirely gone. Like I think they could just stimulate the game just on FOMO, fear of missing out, just keeping the wipe going. I mean, right now, there isn't even content that's been shown for Season 4. We don't even know if they're working on anything for Season 4. And it's not going to wipe either, so I really think it's going to go on maintenance mode. Hopefully we hear something soon, but the devs have gone completely silent.
But the problem is, if the current state of the game and the lack of efficient changes won't put the nail in the coffin, the developers may have already done it themselves. Numerous developers on the project have already left, leaving a smaller team of roughly 140 people to work on the Cycle Frontier. Now that sounds like a big number, but if you're...
The devs have another issue where like, they have like confirmation bias. I've heard from this is verbatim from the devs. I've heard them say they don't go in people's streams where, and I'm not gonna say which dev this is, 'cause I want to put them in hot water, but they don't go in people's streams if they say anything negative about the game because it hurts their feelings. That is what they told me. And I said verbatim, but that was actually more like layman's terms what he told me. And it was just like, you gotta be able to put up with a little bit of critique, you know what I mean? At least in my opinion. And then in the content creator program, when I was in it, they really favor, you got people like Last Say and Prince and Claymore. You guys probably haven't even heard of these guys before, but they try their hardest to just absolutely be like yes men for the developers. And it's just a really, really bad angle. And that's like the only reason they're even in that program is because they just like sit there and tell them how great they're doing. Like even now, they're probably typing essays to them, telling them like how phenomenal of a job they're doing. And well, the creator program has actually been ended. If you guys don't know, they fired Scraticus. His social media says he's seeking employment, and there is no one is no longer in the content creator program. Vasco hates me because he effectively thinks that I'm the reason the cycle died. I don't know, dude. It's just in such a bad spot. There's no content creator program at all anymore, right? That's why you see people like Tsunami going to Apex. I mean, Vasco's trying to go to Tarkov, man. Good luck to him on that. It's just like like Pac is like the only guy keeping things afloat. I mean, everyone is gone. It's crazy.
Work isn't properly.
They did all this over like the pettiness of like not letting me in the competition and just completely reverse sweeping me. You know, they sent out all the emails that people were accepted a day before it ended, and then just didn't send me one. And they're like, "Oh, we got you. You're not in it." And then they fired the guy that did that. Like, dude, just issue an apology to me. Recognize that I was the winner. Give the computer to my audience. I mean, those things literally said these are for your audience. People just kept the rewards. I don't know. It's crazy, dude.
Structured and people up top are just spouting shit.
Such bad business decisions, dude.
Before they eventually get rid of you, then you may as well just.
Sorry to be biased, man. That was just such a kick to the balls.
Money, but they do have $551 worth of DLCs.
I have bought every single one of these. Yeah, I could do a video just showing what every single skin in the game. Would you guys want to see that?
Some of them being over 100 freedom dollars. So do with that what you will. However, we're currently 2.5 months into Season 3, and player counts are starting to hit an all-time low already, so I decided to play last night, and it was genuinely just a single-player experience. I'm literally at the extraction point. I don't want to be loud. I haven't even heard anybody. Press Y to call evac ship. Okay. Oh, here it comes. I'm ready. Oh, fuck.
I'll say it. Skill issue, bro. What the hell? What
Clearly I have a
was
few
that,
things to
dude?
learn, but I'm not sure there's even a point. From the outside looking in, it certainly looks like this is the end of the road. People with thousands
That was on
of hours of
purpose? It kind of looked like that was on purpose,
quitting,
yeah.
and the worst part is the reasons for quitting can't even be nailed down. It's not one individual problem, and this might be why the team of 140 fucking developers feels so hopeless. What can they really do to revive the brand? In the gaming world, when things go this tits up, you usually just let it die.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's crazy. I think they're really going to put this thing on maintenance mode. I see people keep saying, like, another developer team just needs to come in and buy the Cycle Frontier. Think about this, guys. All the assets they have are like 6 or 7 years old, right? They haven't made a profit ever. They're also owned by a massive parent company, Tencent, like the biggest conglomerate you can be owned by, right? Who's going to come in and buy a business that has been failing for 7 years? They have a huge team. They have an extremely woke mindset. It's not going well for them. I mean, dude, it would have to be like someone that's in the Cycle Frontier community already, who's like an oiler, who's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, who would just be doing it on a passion project, right? And I don't think you, no matter how much money, I mean, they say everything is always for sale, but I really don't think you could do this or negotiate this, dude. I just don't see it happening.
Reviving a game that has repeatedly tried its best to kill itself almost never works. As with many dying games though, the Reddit is filled with suggestions, calls for change, and some threads along.
This is another issue. They like only look at Reddit for things they should do. And dude, Reddit is just not the place. It's like a place filled with people that are like wannabe intellectuals that think they are like free thinkers, but they base all of their opinions on upvotes and downvotes, right? It's like being in a middle school, man. Like it's like a hive mind. It's not a great place to be. And that's where the developers pull everything. And they'll like just pivot like crazy. They'll be like, okay, we're gonna make armor like really tiered, really different. We're gonna, make it on the linear system. And the next episode they're gonna be like, we're gonna nerf the hell out of armor and make exotic weapons terrible. And they're just constantly pivoting back and forth all the time. Like they don't know what to do with the direction of the game. We've seen it time and time again. They just go back and forth like crazy. And it's because of Reddit, man. It's you're listening to people that have no idea what they're talking about at all. It's crazy.
The script for this video outlining possible pathways for the developers to take. I felt just like this with H1Z1, and eventually it just goes too far. Developers are laid off, servers are eventually shut down.
We already see this happening. They downgraded their servers a few months ago. They've been laying off employees. We know they've been moving employees to different projects. We know Skanky, who was in charge of balancing all the weapons, was moved to a different project. Well, guess what? Do you think you're going to get more weapons if the guy that's in charge of balancing all of them is being moved? No, you just have like some intern messing with numbers. Now you're like, kinetic arbiter, 10,000 damage. Yep, that'll be fun. Like, there's no wonder that people are so upset about the balancing changes that are going on for the weapons. It's common knowledge. I mean, even on the public forums, they've been saying, or they've shown us, they fired Rick Deckard, for example, right? Skanky even said in the comments on their official trailer that he was moved to a different project. It's their new MMO, guys. It's literally on their website. And when you go to the Jaeger website, it doesn't show them hiring these people they're laying off, guys. If you look at, for example, let's look at Facebook right now, Instagram, or I guess they're both owned by Meta. But all these big tech companies are having massive layoffs, right? We're set to have a global recession in like the next year to 2 years, and it always hits tech the hardest. Do you think Jaeger is going to be outside of this? No, they're not, dude. How are they going to bring it back?
And all you have left are memories. Now, I don't want to shit on everyone's parade. I don't think this game is at that point yet, and possibly nowhere near. But if nothing big changes very soon,
we have like 1,000 players on a day. Thank you for the Twitch Prime, Chad Company. Thank you, brother.
Think it
I
may
appreciate your
just run its
support.
course. But what do the community actually want? If the devs were to keep hypothetically trying, what needs to be altered? Well, one thing almost everyone can agree on is smaller lobbies. Improve the weapon location
Smaller lobbies. Do you guys agree with that? I feel like that's kind of a hot take. Like, Bright Sands is effectively empty. People have to tell each other what servers they're queuing up into and what lobbies or like formats they're queuing into, like trios or duos already. I don't think. I mean, this guy, he doesn't play Cycle, so maybe that was like the first thing he saw on Reddit. I mean, I don't know. What is that, like affirmation that Reddit doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about once again? But you already have a hard time running into players, man. Why would you make the lobby smaller?
spawns. Balance the weapons. Again, change the loot pool so looting buildings is actually satisfying. And a personal suggestion from me, please keep adding even more mobs. I love them.
Can't get me up here, can ya? You little rats. Have that. Okay.
This guy has probably played a total of like 10 hours of this game.
It is weird
Which is
that so many
crazy.
of these games where people happily invest thousands of hours into can just die. And as a player, nothing's more frustrating than a dev team that just can't seem to get it right. I mean, it's all out of your control. If there's any way this game survives, is if the rumors of other dev teams potentially taking over the game are actually true. If another team of potentially smart
I just
people
don't
come
see
in
it
and build
happening.
upon
Another team of potentially smart people, bro. That was the most backhanded compliment ever there, dude. What the hell? Imagine being a developer working at Jaeger right now. You got, so like, we're imagining you got like your Elmer's glue, you're sipping on the side, dude, and he's like, maybe these guys are gonna be potential intellectuals, you know? Maybe they will use Reddit as well. And these guys spits out his
this
glue.
very solid
Oh
foundation.
my
There's
god,
no reason
dude.
why things
He did
can't
him
at least
dirty with that
stabilize.
one.
H1Z1 had countless moments where things suddenly kind of looked up. At one point, even a very bold man by the name of Jace Hall made promises that he'll revert the game to the glory days, what it used to be. Of course, the bold man was lying out of his ass and then privated his Twitter for a year, in which time the game has reduced itself to around 100 players average. It is sad seeing a game I used to adore, one that I used to spend 10 hours.
That's crazy. Have you guys had a game that you care about like really die? I mean, Cycle, we've all had it recently. It's done for, man. But what's another game you guys have had? For me, it was like Firefall, man. That was probably one of the coolest, most innovative games I've ever seen. Frankie on PC got me into it. He's never steered me astray. It was the reason why I even got PC gaming. Like, so I could play Arma 2, DayZ, man. And he got me on Firefall, and it was such like a cool and unique idea. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was bought by Tencent. It just went downhill. Also, the CEO is like absolutely crazy. Like, he spent all of their funds on like this crazy like bus thing. I don't know, dude. Man thought he was like a rock star or something. It was wild.
Was a day on daily, one that used to compete with PUBG, slowly dwindling away into Steam hell. But that and many other reasons is why the story of this game resonated with me a lot. Currently, loads of rumors about the game are up in the air, rumors of the game changing genre again, and they may well be true, and the small community that still enjoys the game will stick around for a while, but it's safe to say that this game is a massive wasted opportunity. $100 fucking, you know, that is sucking your audience.
Yeah, dude, the skins are way too expensive. You can even see it in season 3. It was a really giant leap where they released the prime time and it was way too expensive, especially if you consider it was just from an old battle pass. Like, they didn't recreate anything. It was just from an old battle pass. They were charging like what, $150 for prime time, if I remember correctly. And then I feel like people were buying it. Tons of people were buying it. So they were like, okay, well, we can just start charging more and more. And like all of their cosmetics went up. I mean, I remember specifically the second week of Cycle when I realized, okay, this is a sinking ship, is when suddenly they flooded the entire store. The cheapest thing on the store was 3,000 Aurum, guys. It was character model. It was absolutely crazy. They're just going for the absolute cash grab. Or you know what was also absolutely crazy is when there was all the drama going on with me in the Cycle, and they used it as a cash grab opportunity. They put my exact skin, every single thing I use in my skin, and they put them all right there, right next to it. Like the ticklemepink package. It's crazy. It was like the biggest cash grab ever. You know, when I first started playing this game, you know, you'd have like, you know, 100 here, 200 here, 300 there. Then you have like your, you know, one character model a week would come in, and it was like 1,000. But that was like a huge red flag that this is like a sinking ship, man. They are just squeezing every ounce they can out of the remaining player base before they inevitably tell you guys, hey guys, you know, season 4, there's no content. They might come in and introduce you guys to some Mark III weapons, you know, trick some of the people that are on the copium that this game has any chance left. And then they're gonna hit you with some more skins, and that's gonna be it, bro. You guys are on maintenance mode. Like, yeah, sorry guys, don't worry, dude. We're gonna introduce more NPCs to the station, so you don't realize you're the only person in here, dude. When you log on the game now, there's like 2 people in a station, right? Who remembers playing in the betas in season 1? It was like an MMO, dude. It was like you were in like Varrock, or it was in like you were in I don't know. What is the name of the horde areas? There's Stormwind if you're Alliance.
If you're an active player and have extra info you want to add, please do.
It's seriously like an MMO.
And if I wasn't shameless enough, feel free to subscribe if you're still watching, and check out my Patreon that I'll link below. I've just launched it the other day, and I've got no fucking clue in the world how it works, but if you want to feature in future videos, that'll be the best place to go.
I feel like he hit the nail on the head with this one. I'll leave a like on that. There's one more that I was told to react to. So, budget Andrew Tate, wish.com Andrew Tate will react to another video. Let me catch some chat here. I did record that. We're going to put up a little bit of a reaction style video, Asmongold style, on the channel. That's why I wasn't reading chat nearly as much as I used to. Sorry if that was annoying for you guys. But what's up, Lovejoy? I saw you come in. Perhaps a few more players per raid to at least have a chance. Yeah, I like that. What up, Drunk? No smart lobbies, but after one team died, don't drop another team in seconds. Yeah, I think it's bad because people abuse it. That's another issue this game has, is people abuse everything. Like, they die, they'll queue back into the same raid, run back, they'll stream snipe. People are using all sorts of game advantage. I told you guys about the huge duplicating issue this game has. Then you have people using stretch res, on-screen crosshairs, people literally just cheating. They just, like, everyone is trying to get these in-game advantages, and it's disgusting. Really, it's just... it completely kills the integrity of the game. And I think it's because a lot of the influx of players that came in are like wannabe FPS pros. A lot of people came in from namely Apex Legends that realistically have never been higher rated in any shooter before. And they use all of these gimmicks to like, I mean, think they're relevant. And then they develop like this like high school ego about it. It's really bad. It's super, super noticeable. You see it in the Rust community as well. You see it in like the Labs community on Tarkov as well.
I hope
it's
everyone
weird.
is doing well, but the
Let's check this out.
Here is definitely not doing too well, considering how people are reacting.
Wait one sec.
To all the events, all the changes.
I wish we could bump his voice a little bit here. The music's a bit louder than him.
Community tab.
Yo, thank you for 4 months of support, Lovejoy2K. I appreciate that, man. Congratulations on your smooth brain.
What the feedbacks are of the people of the game in different events. And
yo, you know what was crazy about this event is that a lot of the people participating in this event were cheating. Like, Justice was competing against people that were cheating. It was insane. And then after the event was already all said and done, they told everyone that if they had gotten 10 howler kills and participated in the event, they would get special exclusive skins, which they didn't tell anyone about prior, dude. It was insane, dude. Like, I just don't understand. Justice like grinded like 16 hours a day just killing the bug for like weeks. Just for who this guy who no one even knows, Billy Boy or whoever, he was not cheating. He was not one of the people cheating, by the way. I just want to clarify. But he had an entire squad that was just letting him get all the like bug kills afterwards. It's like, it's mental. That's how that went down.
Like, it's absolutely horrible. I'm just kidding. It's nowhere close to good. And so we've had this howler killing event, which sounded absolutely lame to me and pretty much to everyone out there. It was just making an event out of what already is. It was just very low effort. Like, any player who has a life is not going to participate in this event. Like, they're not even going to give a fuck about it. So as you can see, literally the first comment.
Events are a great idea though. I wish they probably should have leaned into these way more. It was a good idea, but things were just never professional. I think it's because their content creation manager, I mean, before they fired him, he was a failing content creator before they hired him. Like, he couldn't pay any bills. He was a 3 average viewer streamer, and he wasn't like a successful content creator, and they hired him to manage and tell people like Shroud and Summit what to do. Like, it's not, it doesn't blow anyone's mind that the production value on their channel was always horrific and they didn't know what they were doing. I mean, they hired someone who didn't know what they were doing.
Says he's just talking about the ticklemepink controversy that the devs kicked him out of the content created contest, which was kind of sad. Like, I don't even know why they did that. I don't really know what happened, but he's not even talking about
Base
the
take.
event. And
Base
as
take.
you go on
I don't know why they did that either, brother. Hey, that's literally me right there. The fuck?
into these comments, you're gonna see that these people are not even talking about the event itself. They're just talking about other fundamental stuff that they changed about the
Oh
game.
my god,
which
dude.
is
All of these are about me. What the fuck? It's just like ticklemepink and rigged and shit. Remember when they were banning anyone that mentioned my name in the Discord and they fucking just... They banned so many people over that. That was crazy,
completely
dude.
terrible. Like, it was even better in season 2.
They
Starting
handled
from no
that
wipe
so
policy
poorly, dude.
to the inertia thingy that's completely crippled the movement mechanics of this game. And so as you move on, you're just gonna see hate comments. Like, they're totally complaining about the game. Not a single good comment. They're not even talking about the event itself. Like, I'm not even gonna read them all out because it's literally the same. I can't really read out 70 hate comments. Like, there was like one guy who said something positive about the event, but not really anyone else. So most of these people are just talking about the ticklemepink controversy or complaining about different fundamental stuff that the game needs changing. Like, it's gonna die otherwise. And I completely agree. And if you move further onto the other discussions of different events of the game, you're literally gonna see the same scenery. Like, people are just complaining about stuff. No one is telling anything good about the event or the game itself. Everything is just like, the game is just going downhill at this point. Nothing good is happening to the game. They're just making bad changes. Like, most people are not even liking these things. The state of the game is completely, I'm just gonna say terrible. Okay, you know what? Let's just
Really not
play the
much
game
to
a little
react
bit.
to on this. Bit of a rant, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll include that, but the state of the game for Cycle is not looking good, man. I really think it's going to move to maintenance mode. I hopefully I wish them the best, and I hope to see them actually pull a miracle. But it's looking rough. Like, objectively, they need to get a new anti-cheat. That's gonna cost a lot of money. Theirs was bought out. There needs to be content for season 4. We don't even know. They haven't teased any content at all for season 4. I mean, something, a miracle has to happen. I don't know, but those two things need to be solved. And for people that are still playing the Cycle Frontier, you know, I wish you guys the best. It's an awesome game, and I don't know, maybe you'll feel like some of us who have had to step away from it sooner rather than later.